Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on September the 8th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. All right, so in terms of what we have seen in the market overall, there is some profit taking that we have seen in the stock market, and as a result of that, prices have been, or the stock markets have been dropping. Another thing, a big one, was in Bitcoin today. There was quite a drop in Bitcoin. Price had been going up, and we saw a big drop. Part of that had to do with the with profit taking as well as El Salvador basically had said that they were going to adopt Bitcoin as the currency, and they did that. So this was more of a buy the rumor, sell the news type thing. We saw a big decline as a result of that. So that's Bitcoin. So we'll come to that once we go into our charts. But getting back to the news coming up here, we have Bank of Canada rate statement. So at this point, not really expecting any kind of increase in rates. The main focus will be on what the forward guidance is. When are they expecting to raise rates, and any kind of forward guidance around that. Bank of Canada did say that they were going to, or they had said they had pushed or pulled forward the date they were going to raise the rates. So now with the new Delta variant, we'll have to basically see what they have to say. If they push it back, that would be bad for Canadian dollar. But if they continue on with the same type of commentary in regard to raising rates, that would be good for Canadian dollar. So we'll keep an eye on that. We also have the job openings here from the US at this point, not really expecting much of a change there. Another one here that we need to keep an eye on would be monetary policy report hearings for UK here. So again, main thing that we have to focus on right now would be how the central banks are viewing the economy in light of the Delta variant. So any sort of comments in regards to keeping the monetary policy the same for longer will be negative for the currency, and any talk about cutting back on the asset purchase program, increasing interest rates, those things will be good for the pound. We also have Fed member Williams speaking here. Again, any kind of comments can make a difference, so we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so that's it in terms of news. So let's go on to our charts now. We'll start off with euro dollar. So we saw that euro was into resistance. We had a big pin bar here, and now we are seeing that decline. So right now, today, we have a nice bearish candle close here, bearish engulfing candle close, so bias is bearish. Next target here is 1.1800. And at that point, price will be into support. So we'll have to be careful with this one here. But should it continue, next one would be 1.1770. So right now, bias is bearish. 1.1800 is the first target. 1.1770 is the second target. So bearish bias for euro dollar. Pound dollar, this one as well, price was into resistance. And from there, we saw the decline, nice bearish engulfing candle close. With the pound, though, we do need to be careful with this one because we do have the monetary policy hearings there, which can make a difference here. But based on the technicals here, bias is bearish. 1.3730 is the target. And second target here, 1.3700. So bearish bias here for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar, same thing with Aussie dollar as well. Price was into support resistance level. We have seen a nice bearish engulfing candle close here. With this one, just keep in mind price is into support here. So watch out for that. With the Reserve Bank of Australia, so they have pushed back the guidance for raising rates. They're not going to change the monetary policy at this point, which is negative for the currency. And this is part of the reason why we are seeing a decline in Australian dollar. So bias based on both the fundamentals as well as our technicals. Bias here is to the downside. 0.7320 is the target. So bearish bias here for Aussie dollar as well. New Zealand dollar, same thing with this as well. Price was into support resistance level, and now we are seeing a decline from that. And another thing, or for this one as well, keep in mind price is into support. So we need to see a drop through this for a continuation to the downside. So bias here is bearish. And in terms of our target, we're looking at 0.7030, and then below that 0.6990. So bearish bias here, but just watch out at 0.7085 where it is currently. Dollar CAD here, big move to the upside. Part of it was US dollar being strong, but another part here is Canadian dollar looking a little weak ahead of Bank of Canada. Monetary policy, nobody's really is expecting them to raise rates or be that bullish on raising rates at this point, which makes it bearish. So dollar CAD looking for a move higher. Again, anytime there's a central bank coming up, news coming up, that is very important, and we do need to pay attention to that. But overall, bullish bias here, 1.2700 is the target. Silver was into resistance, nice bearish candle close for the day. Next target is to the downside. Now it is into support right where it closed. It's right into support there. Again, we need to see it go through that, but bias is bearish. Next target is 23.85. And then below that, we have 23.68. So bearish bias for silver. Gold as well, big decline, price was into resistance. Huge decline here. Next target is 1775. So bearish bias for gold as well. Oil also struggling here. In this case, price is into support. So neutral to bearish bias, it is into support. So we do need to see a break for the continuation. But once it gets through the support at 67.50, we have this move that could get filled, this inefficient move. So generally, once we see a decline, it can decline further. So bearish bias, first target is 66.80, and then we're looking at 65.50. So bearish, neutral to bearish bias for oil. Copper has been trading sideways for a bit for the last few days. It is bearish, however, it's right into support here. This is where price has struggled many times before. So we need to see a break and then continuation to the downside. So bearish bias here, 4.15 is the target. Bitcoin, big decline in Bitcoin, and part of it is profit taking, part of it decline in the stock markets, and part of it has to do with El Salvador actually announcing Bitcoin as their currency. They're adopting it. They're the first country to do so. So buy the rumor, sell the news, and that's what we saw. In this case, looking for a bit of a move higher into 48,000. And then a potential drop back into support towards 42,500. So bias is bearish for Bitcoin here. S&P 500, this is bearish. As we can see, prices into support. So it's been trading sideways here, and this is the first solid bearish candle we have. So bearish bias here, next target is 44.80. And then below that, we're looking at 44.65. So bearish bias for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, this one is neutral, and price has been stuck here. In this case, neutral to bearish bias here, looking for a potential drop back towards the support. 15,525 is the target. So bearish, neutral to bearish bias for Nasdaq as well. Dow Jones, this one has dropped as well. Nice bearish engulfing candle. This is the first solid bearish candle we have seen. It did close below our support level. So this was the consolidation range. And now prices dropped. So we're looking for a continuation to the downside here. And first target is 34,800. And below that, we're looking at 34,580. So bearish bias for Dow Jones as well. DAX, this one is still trading in the range. However, overall, it's been dropping, slowly making lower highs. So bearish bias within the range though. 15,675 is the target. FTSE also looking bearish. Price has been trading sideways, but we have a nice bearish engulfing candle. So looking for it to go towards the bottom of the range here. Target is 7,090. So bearish bias for FTSE. And last but not least, we had seen a huge move in Nikkei. This was similar to some of these previous moves we had seen. So I'm looking for this inefficient move to get filled. So 29,600 is the target here. So bearish bias for Nikkei as well. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.